picks and bans from last game. We see Ember Spirit Brand out. He's pretty strong. Maybe there's just someone they don't want to go against. We'll see what they do with that, though. Radiant taking their first ban. We'll see what they do. And they ban out Alchemist. He obviously a strong hero this meta. Certainly hard to play against, especially if it's an Alchemist mid. That is more of a pub strat, but I mean, you never know what could work in these sort of games. The Alchemist also super good for that's support. If you have support stacking camps, Alchemist can realistically become 6 slotted in what, a half hour, 25-30 minutes, and then you have like plenty of time to farm up support ags. That's just one less thing they have to buy and one more thing that makes them super strong. So it's definitely scary, an Alchemist. We see a Quap banned by Dire. Definitely a strong mid laner this meta. Definitely seen her a lot. I know I personally like to pick her up. Just a really strong hero with a lot of mobility. So that seems to be what they're banning here, is actually a mobile support's really good gankers. So that'll give them a little bit more lane confidence, knowing that they don't have to go up against a real support that can gank them really easily. Of course, or a support, what am I talking about? A mid that can gank them really easily. Of course, they still have to worry about it, but these two definitely helping take that away. Ancient Apparition, we also have an Ancient Apparition. He's a pretty good support. They might just be scared of him. Maybe possibly a respect ban. He wasn't played last game, but you never know. They could have done some Dota buff looking up. And the first hero we see is a Shadow Shaman. That doesn't give too much away about their draft. He's probably going to be their defensive support, probably their lane babysitter for their hard carry. He has 2 really good lockdown spells, and he can push really well, so we'll see what they want to do with him. Radiant's first pick goes to Tusk. We saw him play them last game. He actually didn't do that much for them. Their IO was really what carried them through the early game and kept the Slark alive in many situations. But Tusk is definitely a good hero. He's received... Actually, never mind. I was going to say he's received a few nerfs in the last few patches, but he actually has not. I don't know what I was thinking there, but anyway. The second pick, not sure who it's going to be. We'll see if they go with someone they had picked last game. We'll also see if they pick a second support. Usually not the best idea to pick a support second, but they do anyway, and they pick up a Dazzle. Actually, NACL had Dazzle last game, and that definitely helped them out a lot. Obviously they lost, so in the end game, Dazzle's heal was negligible, but in the early game, definitely kept people alive. Shallow Grave also doing lots of work. They obviously just want to take it away from NACL. Now we'll see what they take as their second pick. They have their support Shadow Shaman, which is looking good. But they could go a lot of ways with this. Knowing that the other team has their 2 supports, they can really look to see what they want to do with this. Tusk he can be really good at ganking, and obviously, going for those pickoffs. But odds are, if they have a roaming Tusk, then that means they're going to have a Dazzle babysit their safe lane carry. So they're probably going to want to pick up a hero here who either will just not gank for them, because it's definitely going to be hard to get a kill in their safe lane, or possibly someone who is really good at ganking and just force that Dazzle's hand. But instead they go for a Disruptor. Really good support. He's actually played on the other team last game, and we see them ban out of Broodmother. Of course, Broodmother, pretty strong split pusher, pretty annoying hero to deal with early game, especially with these 2 squishy supports. They're both well, Disruptor not as squishy as Shadow Shaman, but still lacking in the health department. Definitely a wee bit squishy, and Broodmother can just run them over if they're not being careful. We see Silencer banned out from the Radiant. I mean, obviously, I actually don't know why they banned out Silencer. Obviously, right now, Silencer isn't. I mean, he disables all of Dazzle's utility, which is bad, and most of Tusk's utility, which is also bad. But, I mean, it looks like they're going to go for a casting lineup, so NACL definitely going to have to be careful about what they pick. Some carry that relies on being able to deal physical DPS may not be the best pickup here for them, simply because of Silencer ban out. If they're going for a lot more magical damage down here on Radiant, then, well, they're not gonna have the easiest time And they go for the anti-mage ban. I actually, well, I mean, obviously their drafter knows more about their picks and bans than I do, but I don't really see why they needed that. They had plenty of lockdown with Shadow Shaman, and even if he glimpses, as long as they have good ward vision, or even if anti-mage blinks, as long as they have good ward vision, Disruptor has this glimpse to bring him right back in, so anti-mage, not exactly the hard carry I would be banning out there. Maybe 5th stage, but not a priority ban for that. We see Radiant banning out the Templar Assassin. Good hero. Probably just scared of the strong mid-presence she'd bring. And they pick up Shadow Fiend, so that explains why they banned Templar Assassin. Shadow Fiend does not do well against Templar Assassin mid. It's definitely a tough hero for him to go against, considering all he has to burn through his shield is right clicks and raises, but I definitely wouldn't be choosing to waste a raise on that shield unless I absolutely needed to. Or if I could also guarantee last hits with it. Back on Dire, will they respond with their mid pickup? Only time shall tell. They're looking like, so they can't really go for a heavy ganking lineup here because of their slow supports. And by heavy ganking lineup, I mean neither of these heroes are going to roam. They're not going to be. Neither of them has the utility to just walk into a lane and secure a kill. Obviously, Disruptor could and Glimpse, and then you hope for the best, but still not two supports you want roaming the map. So they're probably going to go for a safer, far later game strategy. And the Bristleback is picked up here. He's a pretty good lane dominator. Dazzle is definitely going to have a hard time against a Bristleback. But they respond with a Doom, and Doom is obviously a huge hero this meta. He's been played a lot. Really, really strong hero. After Nanyang, the Nanyang Championships, Scorched Earth was actually immediately nerfed after the finals. Seeing just how good this hero was, Ice Frog actually immediately nerfed Scorched Earth. I think it was not even an hour after the Nanyang finals. So just showing really how strong of a hero Doom is this meta. Definitely, probably not going to be a jungle Doom. Probably going to be an off-lane Doom. They could put him safe lane, but honestly, I think he's being wasted safe lane. He can do some serious harass with Scorched Earth and with basically just Scorched Earth. And he also has the Devour ability, of course. He's basically guaranteed at least one last hit per lane. Obviously, or per wave. Obviously, he should be able to get way more. But, I mean, if worst comes to worst, he's at least getting a last hit and that bonus gold. Now we see a Phantom Lancer pickup from NACL. Pretty good. The only things I have to clear it so far are, well, Scorched Earth, of course. The Raise can do some work, and Dazzle's Heal Bomb, as well as Shadow Fiend's Ultimate, of course. But really nothing super guaranteed that you're going to be clearing out PL illusions. So it's definitely going to be kind of difficult for them so far. So PL is looking like a good pickup here. For their ban, hopefully they ban out a mid hero, seeing as NACL does not have a mid hero yet. We'll see what happens though. And they ban out a Wind Ranger. Could be played mid, probably not going to be taking a Wind Ranger in this situation. But you never know. And Earthshaker is banned out. Obvious PL counter. Good choice for the ban. "24 seconds on the clock, 57 seconds in reserve time." Both teams are gonna have plenty of time to think about their final pick. Radiant is probably going to be picking up a hard carry. While Doom could be played at hard carry, as I earlier explained, he will probably be played off lane. It is possible that they put Tusk off lane and throw Doom jungle, but that's a really weak lane, and I definitely would not be choosing to do that. But we'll see what happens. Dire, I'm sorry, on the other hand, will probably be picking up their mid laner. Definitely gonna want someone ranged to deal with the Shadow Fiend. Probably someone with good early base damage, or at least a good way to secure their own creeps as well as be able to deny their enemies' creeps so that Shadow Fiend doesn't get as many souls as quickly as possible. Really, I think Storm Spirit wouldn't be too bad. Invoker, if they have a good Invoker, could definitely prove hard for a Shadow Fiend to counter. Queen of Pain. I actually like Queen of Pain against Shadow Fiend, but that was already banned out. And they pick up Crystal Maiden as their last hero. So it looks like they are going to be... So it's going to be a Dazzle Crystal Maiden support combo. Tusk is going to be off lane and Doom safe lane with a Shadow Fiend mid. That doesn't seem too bad, but I honestly think they need a harder carry than Doom. He is, as I said, he is a superhero, but I would not put him as a tier 1 carry right now. He still gets out-carried far too easily. Doom, obviously a great spell. It's just, you can only disable one person, and with Bristleback and Phantom Lancer, and now this Razor picked up as well, it's definitely going to be hard prioritizing one target that you want to just leave a fight. But anyway, this Razor pickup probably going to be going mid. It's going to be a interesting mid lane. Definitely we're going to want to keep an eye on that. Razor counter to Doom. Well, not really counter, but that Static Shock? I have no idea what it's called. His passive is going to be countering Dazzle's Poison Touch, Crystal Maiden's Frostbite, Doom's Level Death, and Doom. But of course Doom won't matter because he'll be doomed. Other than that, not much. Alright, let's introduce our teams here, starting off with Dire. On Dire, we have one BB Shadow on the Bristleback, Asum on the Phantom Lancer, Muddy Hikoku on Razor, Super Cat, I'm gonna butcher this, Super Zavman on the Disruptor, and Sega on our good old, why am I retarded? What is this guy called? Shadow Shaman. God, that's pathetic. Okay, meanwhile on Radiant we have Rowendeld on Tusk. I probably butchered your name, I'm sorry. Pat the Kugna. Oh, okay. Pat the Kugna on Dazzle, and Floundy on Doom. Seta Bello on Shadow Fiend, and Biggest Dickus on Crystal Maiden. We see Dire smoked down to the bot rune. Definitely going to be an engagement here. They're going to wrap around on Dazzle and Doom. Could be first blood, an easy first blood. Phantom Lancer's smoke breaks. Razor comes around, and they're going to be scouted out by the Dazzle here. And there we go. Bristleback throwing a Quill Spray and right-clicking, but that's all they can do. Unfortunately, the rest of the team was not in position. Here they go. They've dropped a Sentry Ward down, and Doom is caught out. They can definitely go on Doom here. Everyone else just staving them off. And Doom is going to manage to just simply walk away. The runes go to Shadow Fiend and Razor, respectively, on each team. And everyone just manages to get out. Crystal Maiden. They watch them ward right here, so this should be a quick D-ward. Yep, there we go. And quick 50 gold for Crystal Maiden. Meanwhile, mid lane, mediocre blocks coming out from both teams. It's going to sit right in the middle of the lane, so no one really has the advantage immediately. Bot lane, Doom and... Looks like they might try lane. Crystal Maiden's going to jungle for a quick 3. We got the Magic Ward Bush here blocking the Pole Camp and the Large Camp. That means Crystal Maiden does not get her quick level 2. I said quick level 3 at first. My bad about that. Crystal Maiden will not be getting her quick level 2, and that's going to be just absolutely horrific for her. Top lane, we have a solo Tusk versus this Phantom Lancer Disruptor combo. Definitely going to be hard for him to contend against. Disruptor should be able to keep him zoned far out of experience range, giving Phantom Lancer some free farm, which is definitely not something you want. Meanwhile, bot lane, Doom is basically solo versus this Crystal Maiden Dazzle. They do manage to de-ward this, but that ward is still blocking the large camp, which is not good. Sorry, I keep mousing over this. It's making the Dota screen go away for a moment. Luckily, the small camp will start respawning, though. We just take a look at last hits and denies here. We see Phantom Lancer leading easily at 7-1. No surprise there. Doom right behind at 6-0. Razor mid. 4 denies. That's definitely going to be terrible for Shadow Fiend. Also, we see Static Link, Unstable Current. That's the passive I was talking about. But anyway, we see Static Link just draining the damage of Shadow Fiend. Definitely not something he needs. His damage is already pathetic enough at level 1. He really needs these Necro Mastery stacks to start coming up, and he's just not getting it right now. Disruptor, close to death, pulling the wave, but unfortunately he doesn't hit the double pull. I don't even think he tried for the double pull, and that's going to cause the wave to push, which is not something that Phantom Lancer wants right now. They're in a perfect position. Tusk is basically zoned out, but this wave is going to push, and Tusk is going to have a chance to get some last hits under tower. So not a super good setup. Meanwhile, down here we have Bristleback. He is going to be contesting this Doom. Level 2 to level 3, so Doom is getting solo farm. And up top, we missed it. But it looks like Glimpse was used to pull Tusk back into the Phantom Lancer kill. Definitely a good play here. Solo Tusk is going to have to be careful against this Disruptor, because they can really do that all day. With Glimpse, they can just glimpse him back. He needs to get a point in Kinetic Field, though, so he can just glimpse Kinetic Field, and then Tusk is just stuck wherever he's at. Meanwhile, the mid matchup looking very, very skewed in the favor of Razor. As you can see on the side here, it's 13-8 last hit, 7-0 denies. Razor doing really well. Meanwhile, back down bottom, it looks like... Can I hide spectator chat? Because I really want to do that. There we go. Well, I don't know if that does it, but we're going to have to stick with that. Anyway, looks like we get the spectator comments in there as well. So, Doom definitely going to have to be pulling his weight down here, because he's going to have a pretty fat Phantom Lancer to go up against once the lanes are all said and done. I mean, he's obviously got Doom to shut him down, but you're not going to be able to Doom Phantom Lancer at 20 minutes in when he's surrounded by 8 of his illusions. It's definitely going to be hard to get a proper Doom off. Dazzle pulling in the jungle. He has eaten this tree to perform a double pull, so that's going to be good for him. Ward, maybe? Something was just delivered to Doom. Or Crystal Maiden. It looks like it was the ring of armor for his Basilius, and he walks over to the side shop to buy the mask. Both mids doing pretty well. No one has really got the obvious advantage here. I mean, Razor obviously winning in last hits and denies, which is going to be bringing Doom down, but not Doom, Shadow Fiend down. But he is managing to keep Shadow Fiend out. Meanwhile, up top, lane's still just about even. And Doom, man, missed it again. Doom kills Shadow Shaman down bot. Shadow Shaman definitely going to need to play safer. With the 2 heroes here, it's going to be really easy for Doom to just walk forward and get a kill. And that's how he did it. He has Hurl Boulder, giving Doom a stun, which is definitely not something you want to be happening. And Doom hits level 6, which gives him Doom. He could go on Bristleback right now. All he needed to do was walk up once and throw Doom on him. Here we see Phantom Lancer coming down bot. Not smart. Doom just throws Doom on him, and this is an easy kill. Phantom Lancer has to retreat immediately. Bristleback tries to come up to deal any damage he can to get him off his back, but Bristleback just falls. He's going to walk straight, run back into Phantom Lancer, and Phantom Lancer is dead. He can't out-juke them. There comes the right click, and Doom has an easy double kill. Now, I said Doom is going to have to contend with a fat Phantom Lancer, not if plays like that happen. That was just an easy, easy double kill there. And in response, Tusk is just pushing. Disruptor he really can't contend up against this. Tusk has been getting solo XP and is level 5. He's only level 4 and really doesn't have enough to deal with him. It's definitely going to be hard. The only lane that they're really winning now is mid. Obviously, still winning top because of that earlier kill, but because Phantom Lancer basically just threw away his life down bot, he's gonna have a far harder time. I see Disruptor placing this high lane ward. That's gonna be good. It's gonna watch from ganks up straight through the river here from Shadow Fiend, as well as give them an idea of when they can go on Tusk. Phantom Lancer now gonna be headed back top. See what's on the courier farm. We've got a Ring of Protection. Gonna be building into a Ring of Aquila. Meanwhile, Bristleback down bottom. He certainly is tanky, but not against this level 7 Doom. Dazzle, sitting on level 5, definitely been doing well for himself. And Doom, this bot lane simply can't contest. Doom is just too tanky at this point in time. He has 1,000 health, and Dazzle just sitting here spamming out Shadow Wave, just healing Doom up as much as he needs. Crystal Maiden, only level 3, had a really tough start. And man, we have just missed all the kills. But like I said earlier, this Disruptor can't contend with a Tusk, and their Tusk is proving it. Getting a kill on him, even with Phantom Lancer in lane. Geez, when I said I'm missing all the kills, I really meant it. Don't worry, we're not going to miss this one, though. Doom, easy double kill again for him. Razor needs to be careful here. He could fall as well, although probably not. Sending out the Plasma Field, sending in the right clicks. The tower right clicks coming through as well. If Razor manages to catch him, it's definitely going to be a kill going the way of Radiant. Doom juking through the trees. Razor heads the wrong way completely. Gets stuck by creeps. This could be a kill here. Razor can die if he doesn't cut these creeps very quickly. Dazzle needs to come over and give him help in any way he can. But it looks, or give the creeps health in any way he can to keep him in there. But it looks like they're perfectly content with just letting him go. Meanwhile, back on the side, Shadow Shaman coming in, trying to look for that kill. Doom running away, but he's just too fast. They're not going to be able to catch him. There we go, activating Scorched Earth, and he manages to get out there. They're going to have to retreat now. The mid, nope, that's not mid. Yes, the mid and the Crystal Maiden coming in. And it's going to be an easy double kill for Dire. For Radiant, I mean, sorry. Razor dies, Shadow Shaman falls, and it's really just not a good time. He traded the 2-down bot, and Tusk died top, but it's just not worth it. Dire needs to do a better job of just playing safe. Chasing Doom all the way through jungle like that was a really dumb thing to do. Doom obviously going to be able to start snowballing after these early kills he gets. That's really all Doom needs. He needs farm in the early game, which is hard to come by. But when you're Doom with a 9-minute Blink Dagger, you're doing pretty well for yourself. Razor coming into mid, just harassing a bit. Disruptor sitting bot, but there's really nothing he can do to contend this Doom and Dazzle. Meanwhile, top, Phantom Lancer, it looks like, is going to be going solo up this against this Tusk. Once again, Tusk can clear illusions just a tiny bit with his Ice Shards, but, I mean, not enough. And meanwhile, down bot, a fight is breaking out. They managed to kill Doom. Static Storm, sorry, committed for that. They have the Glimpse. Glimpse is going to bring him all the way back to the tower. Mini Doom here, throwing out the stuns. Shadow Shaman, doesn't matter. Hits him with the shackles, and they manage to bring him down. A good rotate there from Phantom Lancer. Going to be able to get the kills, or not the kills, but the experience, and maybe one kill. I don't know. Yes, he managed to kill Doom for 630 gold, which is really good for him. Tusk, meanwhile, means he's gonna have some free farm top, which is definitely not what Radiant or what Dire wants to happen at this point in time. They're gonna want to take out every advantage they can, and letting Tusk free farm is definitely not one of those advantages. Looking back over at the last hits, Razor is now leading, followed by Shadow Fiend, then Doom, then Phantom Lancer, then Bristleback. So definitely that last hit advantage gone. And Doom dies again bottom. Here we go, the fight breaking out. Disruptor stuck in the trees on low health, and the Bristleback going down as well. Disruptor needs to get out. He just needs to TP. And there we go. He's just waited for mana. Crystal Maiden almost falling, but not quite. Only level 4. She's definitely going to want to get some experience. She's been out of the game for a long time, out of the swing of things, and really just not doing so hot. Dazzle, on the other hand, is looking good. 12 minutes in, he has Medallion and is level 7. Doing far better than the Dire supports, of course. Shadow Shaman only level 5. Disruptor level 7, but with only Arcanes and a Ring of Regen. Nothing really to contend with Dazzle. Doom still rocking the Shard split, but he gets... Well, I was going to say, it looks like he's going to get taken out, but it's not looking like such. Oh, but he might, if one more Quill Spray can come through, and no, not so. Doom dying just barely. That Scorched Earth heal definitely helping him out, helping him tank a lot more damage than he should be able to take. And it looks like Dire is definitely just going to be pushing this. Sorry, Radiant. Jeez, Radiant is just going to be pushing this. Dire fortifies, but it's really only so much they can do. The next creep wave is about to hit the tower. Meanwhile, mid, Razor going onto this Dazzle, just going to deal a little bit of damage to this tower and then getting back. Phantom Lancer and Disruptor pushing top, looking like they want to trade, but really just a trade is not worth it. Obviously the trade makes it somewhat more worth it, but to pull this even, they need some kills or something. Being even as push is not enough, and they're not even in push. It's 1 for 2. And Radiant just continues to push Doom, an aggressive blink forward, throwing down a Doom on Shadow Shaman. They throw the Disruptor ult, but it whiffs completely. Doom, the intended target, misses. He's attempting to TP out, but Bristleback and Phantom Lancer are going to be able to take him down. Some good plays coming out. Doom manages to get the kill, but not really making it worth it. The 2 supports for the Doom, I would say definitely worth it for Dire. They need any advantage they can get, and the supports are already pretty weak. Obviously, them dying and giving some more gold to Radiant isn't exactly ideal, but something that had to happen. Supports are, in fact, already back, and poor Disruptor just wants to complete his 4 staff. Meanwhile, Tusk going on Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer gonna be able to escape. Tusk looking like he's gonna go for a Shadow Blade. We'll see how soon he can get it. Crystal Maiden finally getting something done. Level 5 has Tranquils. Wards are on the way. There's an aggressive ward up here by Dire, and this exact same ward by Radiant. One of the others is gonna deward this probably. Whoever warded first. Let's see, who warded first? Radiant warded first by far. Dire just warded this, so Radiant should be able to get the deward if Dire doesn't do it. Bristleback rotating mid. That's where Radiant's going to be pushing, and there's really not much you can do to stop this. Razor was just killed up in front, and Disruptor, terrible positioning. Manages to catch the freaking Shadow Fiend in his ult. Crystal Maiden ults defensively, keeping him out. Doom's the Bristleback, and that's going to force him to death. Tusk, man, nothing went right there for that fight. Shadow Shaman with the shackle onto Tusk, but Tusk just taking it, tanking everything that the tower threw at him, and in the end was able to walk away thanks to Dazzle's Shallow Grave. Really just not looking good here. That's a 5. That was an absolutely terrible fight. They just kept walking in one by one, and that's just not the way you want to fight, especially against this lineup who has so much fighting potential and has gotten so strong so quick. The snowball effect is just absolutely ridiculous. Phantom Lancer, was that a blink dagger? What was that? That definitely was a weird glitch for me there. He just needs to TP out, but will he figure it out? Yes, and there goes the TPing home, and he's going to make it just fine. Meanwhile, the rest of Radiant coming in to attempt to look for the kill here. Bristleback pushing down bot, definitely not as tanky as he needs to be. It's 15 minutes in, and all he has is Vitality Booster Treads. That's definitely not something you want. Also, they have the Basilius and the Ring of Aquila. Never mind, I was about to say that's a mistake, but Basilius and Aquila stack, if I'm not mistaken. But they do have 2 Aquilas, so that there is a mistake. Obviously, both heroes want it, but probably not worth it to get both of them. Top tower is pushed down really quickly. And it's really just not looking like much Dire can do at this point. They're definitely going to need to pull some sort of play, and nothing's going to happen when you're sitting under the Radiant Ward. They know exactly where you are. Doom blinks into 5 of them, does not even care, throws Doom on Disruptor. He gets shut down, and he's about to die. Shadow Fiend throwing his ult. Phantom Lancer manages to doppelgang out. Phantom Lancer putting through the right clicks. Shadow Fiend about to drop, but he gets shallow graved. Phantom Lancer can't decide which hero to go on. Crystal Maiden's ult manages to clean up the rest with Tusk on the backline, just getting kills, kill after kill. And that fight went from okay to absolutely terrible. Doom jumped in, did manage to doom the Disruptor, and he was basically dead from the start, but they answered quickly by killing him. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. Shadow Fiend came in, and even though his ult was dodged by Phantom Lancer just got immediately melted by the Crystal Maiden ult. So definitely a bad fight. The sad thing is, too, it's not like they fought anything wrong. Other than the positioning of the entire team was a little far back, there's just really nothing they could have done. Dazzle was on the back line, so he wasn't about to get picked off. Shadow Fiend was shallow grave, so it's not like he could have gotten picked off. And, I mean, Crystal Maiden was halfway through channeling her ult. All the damage that she needed to do had already been dealt. And there we see her picking up a 4-staff. She's gone from behind to almost doing well. She has managed to surpass both Dire supports. Dire now looking to push mid. Phantom Lancer pushing bottom, but they're really going to need a mid. He's honestly their only hope. Here out come the D wards from Dire. They still have their entire jungle. Radiant basically still has the entire jungle warded. Pings come out from Crystal Maiden that the D ward happened. We'll see if they respond to it. Obviously they should, but how quickly? Phantom Lancer pushing bot, obviously going for a Diffusal Blade. TPing back, he knows they're coming for him. Fortunately, that means this bot tower won't be able to get pushed. Dire grouping up mid, not quite sure what they want to do. Dazzle scouting out Roshan, we'll see if they go for that. The rest of Radiant, 2 of them sitting here. Shadow Fiend just taking Ancients. He has an Alpha Wolf, so that's going to give the rest of his team some good crit. Dazzle also stacking the jungle. Doom counter pushing bot, and here we see Dire making a move. Checking Roche, can't really check Roche with that. Checking Roche with the static field and seeing nothing. There's an invisible Tusk, he's scouting them out. We'll see if anything comes of this. Shadow Blade halfway through and Tusk just backs off. No one else is coming. There's Dazzle to make sure he gets out. And the teams just each go their separate ways. Phantom Lancer pushing top, really? He just needs to keep doing what he's doing. Push a few waves, do some damage to the tower, then get to a new lane and keep doing it. Doom, meanwhile, countering what Phantom Lancer has just done. Just simply pushing back the wave that was just pushed. A clutch Walrus Punch coming out to kill that Alpha Wolf. Good on you, Tusk. Dire really just need to take this time that the Radiant has given them and farm. Obviously, Radiant is farming too, so not exactly the best situation for Dire, but a situation they need to take advantage of. Really, their only hope here is to farm up quicker. Definitely not going to be happening, but with Radiant playing this catch-up game, and my god, Phantom Lancer almost being able to take down Doom. Dazzle manages to shallow grave him, so he's safe, and Phantom Lancer now needs to get out. Doom hits the Doom on Phantom Lancer, and that's going to be all she wrote for him. The snowball comes in and connects, and there goes another clutch Walrus Punch, this time killing an actual target. Razor taking this camp. I'm surprised it isn't blocked by this ward. Thought for sure it would be, but I guess not. There's their sentry ward, just barely missing it here. Just that tiny little inkling. Tusk scouting up with his Shadow Blade, breaking it, killing Shadow Shaman instantly. Doom follows up on Razor, pops those drums of endurance, and here comes the right clicks. Doom slowly losing all his damage. Static Link finally breaks. The right click's coming out from Razor. Doom is caught up. Right click's coming through, as well as Scorched Earth. Bristleback coming in and trying to save him. At this point in time, these two heroes just need to run. There's nothing they can do here. They just need to cut their losses and get up to the high ground, and that's exactly what they do. Shadow Phoenix spends his 10-second BKB, and I don't know why they're still fighting. Phantom Lancer throwing away his life here, managing to doppelgang out. Crystal Maiden basically wasting her ult. So that, all in all, was good. But they go back in. I don't know why. Crystal Maiden's ult is still channeling. She did the smart thing. Tusk trying to save them, and, oh, managing to snowball uphill. It's very smart move, very smart move. Definitely thought there was snowballing onto Bristleback or someone. And Dire just keep chasing. They're not going to give this up. Crystal Maiden backline, 77 health. Probably the target they're looking for, but they just can't do it. Phantom Lancer, doppelgangs out. All the AoE damage is going through. 2 TPs coming in. Phantom Lancer running as fast as he can. The snowball connects. Tusk throwing through the right clicks, and down goes Phantom Lancer. Shadow Shaman drops his wards. They're going to go to work, not even able to get 1 kill for him. Everyone just retreats out, scatters after the Phantom Lancer and Shadow Shaman kills, and they're content. Bristleback still wanting to chase Disruptor, also dropping back, and so does Razor. And after one hectic fighting event, it looks like the teams have finally settled, the winner being obviously Radiant. At 28 to 7 kills, it's really not looking good. This Shadow Fiend BKB coming back online, well, right now. Doom, Blink and Shadow Blade up, as well as Doom the spell. Disruptor throwing a field just to stop them, but really, there's not much they can do to stop this push. They're going to take this tower and probably Rax if they want it. This could be GG if they fight uphill and just wipe. And Razor getting a little too offensive, Doom dooming, Disruptor throwing down a wall and an ultimate, going to be forcing everyone back. Bringing back, who was that? Dazzle? Yes, bringing back Dazzle. Phantom Lancer and Bristleback going in. Both of them instantly dropping. They may be tanky, but just not tanky enough. Shadow Fiend and Disruptor dead as well. Razor back in base, managed to survive through the Doom. But at this point in time, this should be 2 lanes of Rax, maybe even 3. They're going to obviously easily push through this. Razor coming up, just doing any bit of chip damage that he can to stop this, but there's nothing he can do. Really, all he's risking now is dying. Doom is Blink on cooldown, and there's Razor with the static link. Not going to be doing enough. Who did he hit it on? Shadow Fiend? It's not even going to matter. Not in the slightest. Shadow Fiend wants to keep on pushing, and I don't know why the rest of his team isn't. From that last chain of events, they should know they can easily fight and win. Dazzle giving them extra armor, and it's not looking good. The Glimpse and the Sheep come out on Doom, but all Tusk has to do is Shadow Blade up and ult, and Shadow Fiend is dead. Doom with the blink forward, 30 seconds until Doom. He's just right-clicking. Razor managed to static link him. Doom's going to have to walk out. Shadow Fiend channels his ultimate, pops the BKB. It hits just Razor. Out come the AoE damage, and down falls Razor. Phantom Lancer doesn't have much. The Frostbite goes off on him and manages to stop him, but he doppelgangs out. They're going to be pushing Rax after killing 4, and it's basically GG at this point. They're in your base. They're not letting up. I don't see anything that you can do to stop this from happening. Just like I said, here they go, rotating mid, and just not good. Not good at all. They can push to their heart's content, and you just have to sit back and watch them. Disruptor drops Kinetic Field and Static Storm. Doom blinking forward a little too aggressive. They managed to kill him. This is finally good. They have him isolated. Shadow Fiend, they slow him down. If they can drop a Diffusal Charge, Crystal Maiden is out. If they need to switch targets to Crystal Maiden, and she moves. The ult is up, and Phantom Lancer, what was that? Crystal Maiden gets stuck in Snowball. Snowballed forward. Razor right-clicks coming through. Kills the Tusk. Crystal Maiden also picked off. Dazzle looking like he's going to get picked off. Some Goose Stacks coming out onto Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend drops his Ring of Aquila. What is this? Managed to pick up Butterfly. Courier flies away, not going to be able to kill him. Going after Dazzle. Dazzle picking up the Invisibility Rune, and he's going to be getting out just fine. But that is exactly the turn that Dire needed. Granted, it came far too late, but they finally managed to end some of those killing sprees, and they lost no one on that escape. It was a really sloppy escape. I think they actually would have been able to turn it if Tusk did not drop the Snowball into Crystal Maiden, so a little bit of a mistake there. But I mean, all in all, you have like 15 kills down bot as well as the lane of Rax. Radiant just came out on top of that exchange. Now, okay, Phantom Lancer, huge mistake here. Immediately built a Diffusal Blade level 2. I hope everyone watching this knows why this is happening, or why this is a mistake, but you don't just instantly upgrade to Diffusal Blade level 2. The upgrade is put in there, so once you expend all the diffusal blade charges on level 1, you can buy the recipe and get 8 more. It's not to bring up your stacks. And Phantom Lancer just caught out way far up, instantly dropped. Not a good time. With this, they could probably push and GG it easily. Phantom Lancer is the only inkling of a carry they have. Razor would have tried to stand his ground, but he just would have died. And it looks like Radiant is actually going to go for the Roshan kill. Definitely not a bad idea. He's going to fall insanely fast. All the minus armor and Doom's double damage. It's just atrocious. And there he goes. Super fast. But who will pick it up? And Shadow Fiend does. Here they go. Pushing mid. Looking like it's going to be GG. Phantom Lancer back up in 5. They might be able to try and defend this. Maybe get another bad retreat out like they did last time. But if the bot Rack's take was any indication of what's going to happen mid, it's not looking good. Disruptor not planning on doing anything. Bristleback going in. Tower already dropped. Shadow Fiend really needs to be up there on the front lines. He has the Aegis. He can tank through some of this. And Doom just walking up. Crystal Maiden. Oh, her ultimate immediately gets cancelled by that Disruptor ult, but does it even matter? No. Doom jumping forward, immediately throwing out right clicks. Phantom Lancer spawning illusions, throwing out right clicks. Right-clicking down Tusk, and Disruptor almost saving Tusk by bringing him back. Dazzle, the next one to die, gets Glimmer Caped by Crystal Maiden, or maybe himself, I'm not sure. Glimmer Caped by himself. The all comes out. Crystal Maiden dies. Right clicks onto Bristleback. Bristleback's dead. Razor throws the throws the plasma field out. 3 for 2 trade, and the bot rack's still falling. Or the mid rack's still falling. Doom, low, but gonna survive. Razor killed by Shadow Fiend. Doom's gonna start throwing those right clicks as well as Shadow Fiend. Mid rack's not long for life. And there you have it. Mid rack's is dead. It's Razor and Shadow Shaman versus the world. Disruptor here to join them as well, but really, what are they going to do in this situation? Pugna picking up a... Pugna, what am I talking about? Dazzle picking up a Soul Ring, I believe. I think that's what I just saw him pick up. And Shadow Fiend and the rest of the team just back off, heal up, and they're going to have to start preparing for this top Rax push. Razor builds Ag Scepter. It's not too bad if you want to push, but they're obviously not pushing in any situation like this. Bristleback finally manages to get Vanguard, building a BKB, but I would 100% disagree with this choice. He needs to tank up, and while BKB does help him do it a little bit, he needs to go for something like Crimson Guard. I mean, he already has Vanguard. That's a good start. He just needs Buckler and the recipe. Crimson Guard will help them out against the right clicks, which are really doing most of the damage to them here. Not so much the magic damage. Well, magic damage definitely is a factor from Crystal Maiden. It's not the main source of damage they're taking. Doom and Shadow Fiend right clicks are definitely doing the most of the work. Radiant look like they're just happy to farm up a wee bit more before taking this last set of racks. Dire really can't even push out of their base now, and at this time it's kind of atrocious. Once again, so sad. This Sentry Ward missing this ward by, well, nothing. And the game is paused. Shadow Shaman disconnects. He disconnected last game as well. Yep, there we go. He is the one with the internet. So let's go over what-if situations. The best possible thing that can happen right now would be Radiant pushes, they get overconfident. Dire, by Jesus' luck, manages to team wipe. And lose no one. That would be best case scenario. Realistic scenario, Radiant pushes, Dire tries to defend. Radiant team wipes. Probably loses either Dazzle or Crystal Maiden. I don't see them losing both. And wins the game. That's really all I see happening here. I mean, Razor he built Egg Scepter, which is just not good. It's just not good on a game where you're behind. He needed to build something like Blade Mail. It's not a super good item, but it would help him tank up a tiny bit more. He has the mech, so that's okay. And I've already went over Bristleback's choice. Shadow Shaman really built all he can. He's not earning enough money to even do anything, so this build right here is in Arcane Boots. Magic Wand is okay. He needs a 4-staff or something, though. Disruptor, also with Arcanes. He's going to be building a... God, what is that thing called? Veil. Veil of Discord. That's definitely going to be a good choice. Has his 4-staff already and Arcane Boots. Why he built the Aquila? Ah, it's not his. Okay, that definitely makes more sense. This is Shadow Fiend's Aquila. And Phantom Lancer, we've already gone over his Diffusal Blade mistake. Tusk, Silver Edge, building into... I have no idea. Plate Mail could be anything. Crystal Maiden, Blink Dagger, 4-staff, Glimmer Cape. She has all the utility she needs and more. Doing really well for herself after that slow start. Doom, Blink Dagger, Silver Edge, Shiva's. Really has all he needs as well. Silver Edge is doing work against that Razor, and I believe they should cancel both of Phantom Lancer's passives, so that's just absolutely atrocious for him. Shadow Fiend, BKB Butterfly. While in a traditional game, I definitely would not recommend rushing Butterfly. You really didn't need to worry about them catching up here. They were just fighting so well. Just getting so many kills. Dazzle, Mech, Medallion, Glimmer. Just pretty fantastic. It's really just what he needed. I mean, Mech obviously just even more heal. The Medallion helping his team out with all the armor, plus the weave armor that he provides. Glimmer Cape, I haven't seen him use it on any carries yet. Really, they haven't had to get out of any sticky situations while he has owned a Glimmer Cape. The last bad retreat they had, I don't think either of the supports had a Glimmer Cape. I could be wrong on that, but I'm not sure. If we look at the net worths, Phantom Lancer, doing the best he can, but he's still only third. Crystal Maiden and Dazzle have managed to surpass Bristleback and Disruptor and Shadow Shaman. Bristleback just really not doing well this game. He hasn't been able to find much farm at all in really anything. He obviously had a bit of lane farms, gotten a few farm from kills, but aside from that, I haven't seen him go to find any farm, which is something I see newer players struggle with a lot. If they're playing support or not a hard carry, they really struggle with finding farm, so that's just something you should definitely practice. Can I talk to these fellows? Let's find out. I think I can. Hey, yep, look at that. I can talk to him. So definitely, for a newer player, a way to find farm when you're support or something. You definitely just look at the map, look where your carries aren't. Make sure it's a safe area. Obviously, like, if you were dire right now and there's a creep wave there, down here somewhere. So, if the creep wave is down here, obviously you're not going to be a solo support finding farm here. But if you're like tier 1 towers still up, maybe the creep wave is about here, it's perfectly fine to go take that farm if no one else is going to take it. Also, if you have the capability to farm jungle quickly and efficiently, go ahead and do it. If no one else is there, it's yours for the taking. Granted, if you're like stacking for a carry like Alchemist or something, you should definitely not be a support wasting spells on a stack. But like solo small camp, even a solo large camp, perfectly fine to take. So here we see Dire pushing up, looking like the final push for the death of... Why did I say Dire? Radiant pushing up, the final push for the death of Dire. Dire's starting to get in position, but I mean, really, the longer they wait here, the more all their other lanes are going to push in. So it's really just going to be a challenge. Phantom Lanes are going out to counter push, but I mean, really, all they have to do is jump in. Doom, blink at any point in time, and there is the Shiva's Guard, dooming on Disruptor. Here he flies in. Bristleback trying to trade right clicks. The Crystal Maiden ult comes out, connecting onto no one but Bristleback, but it doesn't matter. It's doing the work. Phantom Lancer sending right clicks through, but it's not really mattering. There goes the ult by Shadow Fiend. Razor trying to static link to sap any damage he can, and everyone just falls. Doom throwing right clicks, Shadow Fiend throwing right clicks, and there's the good game. This has been the end of Game 2. Hee hee ho ho versus NACL. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Definitely a fun game to cast. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys had fun. And that's going to be the end of this stream. So, as I've said about 10 times in the past 30 seconds, thanks for watching.